Buckeye Nation, 3 days until Buckeye football. Here we are for Bucks N Brew. You know Shane and I aren't drinking brew, though. You don't have to if you don't want to. I got my vitamin water to wake me up in the morning. Shane usually does a pre-workout.
Pre-workout, yep.
Yeah.
Pre-workout.
Johnny's the only one drinking coffee because he's the old man here. But actually, that's not true. I'm the elder of the group here. So we're asking you 5,700 subscriptions by Saturday because I'm turning 40 here in a few days. Shane, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, Corey, tell him real quick. Let's quote Mike Gundy. You know, come at him. He's a man. He's 40. All right. So Corey, when is your actual birthday? Remind him.
September 7th, which is a Thursday. But there will be a Buckeye game before then. It was against Indiana. I'd like to get for my birthday, guys. Come on, help me out. Get the 50. Help the channel out. Help me help the channel. There you go. 5,700 subscriptions by in a couple days, guys. But you can do it. You can help us. We know it. Share the video, like the video, comment. We appreciate all the love and support you guys always give us. We're playing Indiana this Saturday, Shane.
Let's go. Early birthday present for Corey, guys. So help us out. Hit the subscribe button and share with your friends and fam. Let's go.
Absolutely. Boy, we're playing at Indiana, 3:30, CBS, which is weird. I mean, that doesn't make sense, but we're in a new world now. No rules apply. Shane, we're favored right now. As of right now, as we're recording this, 29 points.
Yeah.
Are we going to cover that?
Man, it's strange. Yesterday, my friend messages me. Corey says, 30 points. Is Indiana terrible, or is Ohio State supposed to be that good? Like, do you think 30 points they can? And he's not even a Buckeyes fan or an Indiana fan at all. He's actually a USC fan, but he was just asking me because he knows I'm a Buckeyes fan. I actually was surprised. First thoughts, Corey, I was like, 30 points. And that was before, Ryan Day's press conference where he announced the starting quarterback. As you guys know, yesterday we chatted about Kyle McCord being announced starter, but like still 29, man, that's a tough ask, no matter how good or bad a team is. But on the road, game one, where there's a lot of rust, and you're trying to. It's not like the NFL where you got a lot of preseason games or anything to kind of kick some of that out of there. This is where you start to figure that stuff out. And I don't know, man. 29 points seems a little steep. I'm wondering, what do you think, Corey?
Indiana's not supposed to be that good this year. So, I mean, it's possible, but again, it's game one. It's a Big Ten opponent. I remember 2017, we went to Indiana at a night game. Remember on Thursday night, Ryan Day's first. I think it was 2017 or was it 2018, one of those years. No, it was 17 because JT was still the QB, and Ryan Day was just hired as the offense coordinator with Kevin Wilson, and it just all of a sudden it was like we just felt like we couldn't do anything. We couldn't stop them and their back shoulder throws. We couldn't move the ball at first. I mean, it was just kind of like rough at first. Indiana was giving us a game. Tom Allen was considered the next hero of Indiana, which realistically, no. They got the Buster Douglas mentality where they, I don't know if they got the actual good fighter Buster or the fat pizza eating Buster. I don't know which one they have, but that they have the Buster Douglas mentality. So I don't know. I'm going to say no. I don't think they cover. I'm going with no right now. There's too many question marks for Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm not, and that's not saying we're not going to win. We know we're going to win this, or
we're
should
going to
win this. Yeah, it's just covering 29 points. If you're a betting person, which I have stopped doing in the last 5 years, but if you're a betting man or woman, I might not be covering. I wouldn't be putting my money on the spread quite yet for Ohio State to cover. That is.
Nah, I think I can see us winning by 3 touchdowns. I could see that happening, but 29, 30 points. That's a lot on the road. I don't care against a Big Ten opponent. I mean, unless it was Rutgers pre Shiano, I would say, okay, we're probably going to rock them by 40 points. But Indiana's not. I mean, they're not good, but they're not. It's not the same league as where every bottom feeder gets beat by 100 points by the top. I mean, you're just up and down, and it's week one. You just don't know. We have too many question marks. Shane, we got too many question marks, man.
Too many question marks. And then people have to remember, I mean, as Buckeyes fans, we kind of forget this. Well, some of us forget it, but every game for every team is their Super Bowl, right? This is their season. And they're excited. And I'm sure Indiana has been preparing for this at the entire offseason. You know how teams get ready. We were prepping for Notre Dame. Everybody's getting ready for Ohio State. So this is the first game of the season. Not saying they're going to come out and win, but they are coming out to make it competitive. And so it's just going to be one of those odd games. I feel it's going to be an
Mm-hmm.
odd game, but I'm actually really excited for it, to be honest. Like, I'm just excited for Buckeyes football, man. What do you think, Cory, is going to be our offensive game plan? With McCord being the starter, I'm curious. You talked about it yesterday
Mm-hmm.
in the video we did with talking about McCord's announcement here, or DAYS announcement of McCord. We talked about all the weapons Ohio State has. We got NFL running backs, NFL receivers, and we've got the tight end. In my opinion, like, as a former tight end, sometimes, I'm just going to say this, the tight end can be the quarterback's best friend from a receiving standpoint, especially in the short
Young
passing
quarterback.
game.
Yep.
So, it's a young quarterback. So I'm curious, like, what do you think our offensive game plan is? Is it run heavy? Are we going to maybe McCord has 150 yards passing, one of those types of games? Or what do you think we're going to see out of our offense?
You know what? If I had to pick stats, I'd say McCord ends up with like an 18 of 25, 250 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick type game. Kind of a game manager role. He doesn't really hurt us that bad, but he doesn't do anything that makes you go, wow, either. Maybe he has 1 or 2 wow throws, but not like a ton. Because I just think, he's got to get settled into the offense. I mean, even CJ didn't play great against Minnesota his first game. In fact, it made a lot of people. Then his second game against Oregon, he had a good game. He just didn't finish it. But I wouldn't expect Kyle to come out on the road and just be like Dwayne Haskins or prime Justin Fields or prime CJ Stroud. I wouldn't expect that from him, especially since he's been extremely competitive in a competitive battle for QB this whole time. I think we're going to be run heavy. I actually see us. I was talking to Dylan Freeman about it. I think I see us going back towards a 2019 style offense where we have play a lot of 12 personnel and we run the ball heavy. We're heavy in the middle of the line with Jackson and Jones. Hinsman just won the starting center job, so he's a little bit of an unknown. But 2019, we had Josh Myers, Jonah Jackson, Wyatt Davis, and they just crushed the middle of the field. They own that middle of the field. I don't know if it'll be as good as that because of Hinsman's a little bit of unknown. But if Hinsman's as good as we think he can be, I really think there's a Hinsman, whatever, comment below. I don't know if I'm getting it wrong. Then I think that we're going to be run heavy up the middle of the field. I really truly believe that, especially with Joe Royer coming back from injury and a family tragedy, be that tight end too. They have the personnel to run that 12 personnel now, like they had back in the day with Luke Farrell and Jeremy Ruckert. So I think that's where they're going to lean back towards. I'll be honest with you, I asked Dylan this and he confirmed it. Part of the reason why we haven't been that kind of offense, and part of it, not the whole reason, but part of it is because we haven't had the tight end depth to run that personnel. You think of our tight end room has not been that great. So right. I think it's better now, but I think we'll be more of a run heavy team. I could see 200-yard rushers and another 80-yard rusher very easily.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the other question I'm going to ask you. It's come up while I'm actually just recording this with you. Will we see McCord play hesitant? And what I mean by this is the question of, like, okay, you mentioned a game manager role potentially, but with the quarterback battle with Devin Brown throughout this season, and we know, like, I mean, the rumors are that they're going to probably both get some snaps at some point. With McCord getting the nod, psychologically, do you think that he might play hesitant as to limit mistakes and not take as many chances when we see him against Indiana, because he knows kind of like what the battle is and what it has been?
Yeah, that's been kind of the knock on him, hasn't it? Is that he plays a little safe. He's more of a check down guy. He's more of a guy take the smart play rather than go for the big risk. And I don't know that this will ever be a game where he'll be in a position where he has to take big risks to make big plays. I think it's one of those, he just makes the smart play. Okay, that 5-yard out is open instead of going deep for Harrison, or underneath routes and mesh routes and little hooks and things like that are open in the zones. I just take those easy yards, and there's good to that. If there was a weakness by CJ Stroud, I'd say that was it. Sometimes he just refused to kind of take the easy yards. Kyle's more the opposite. He doesn't go. He doesn't. It's not that he doesn't trust his arm. He has an NFL arm, but he doesn't strike while the iron's hot. Sometimes he just, okay, I can get 3rd and 10. I can get 8 yards, put us in a position to maybe go for 4th down or whatever, instead of going for the whole ball and wax. But did I say that right? Who cares? Anyway, I Michael Scott a lot of these sayings on this show, but I actually do think maybe what will seem hesitant is more him just playing it safe. And Ryan Day might have to light a fire under his butt and say, you need to take some shots. If it's just because it's cover 2 or something like that, doesn't mean you can't move your shoulder to make the safety move and then get Harrison deep or get Mecca deep or Fleming or whomever. I know people think Tate's going to automatically take Fleming's job. I think Fleming's locked in at number 3. I think that's ridiculous.
Dude, I'm actually really excited. That's one of the things I'm excited to see is the receiving core,
Mhm.
because what everybody has to remember is now Marvin Harrison, like we're Blitnikoff Award, like preseason, like looking to be a Blitnikoff winner, all this stuff. He's going to be double covered. They're going to be putting cloud coverage on him all season, and I'm sure Indiana's going to have a coverage scheme against him. Look for Emeka and Julian and whomever is playing out there, even the tight ends. Like,
Mhm.
look for these guys. And I would actually say the running backs out of the backfield getting some space for the passing game. Like, I'm excited to see them because that's where you see these guys flourish. We have I don't think people are talking about it enough. Harrison's going to get his, but it's going to be harder. They're going to have to schematically put him in positions to get his because they're going to be double covered almost every game. These other guys are in single coverage going across the middle of the field. I think Ryan Day is going to put McCord in a situation where he can make easy passes that are
Mhm.
wide open, so long as he can roll out and get some misdirection. And it's going to be so much fun to watch these receivers blow up. That's just one of the things I wanted to say. Still don't know if we cover 29 in this first game, but it's going to be so exciting to watch. The one thing I wanted to say here too, Corey, is just for the fans out there, like full disclosure, I didn't even know fully what like Indiana's strengths were. Just wanted to touch base on Taven Jackson. He's a transfer from Tennessee. I don't want to sound like a completely ignorant fan here, but like I don't pay attention to
We
Indiana.
do it all the time. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Well, I'm not paying much attention to him, but Taven Jackson is coming in there. They're trying to see if he can play consistently. Coming from an SEC school that, obviously this is going to be a different opportunity for him, different environment, different skill set around him. One of those skill players is Cam Camper coming off an ACL tear. They are hoping to get better play out of them, more consistent play, having a quarterback and a receiver that can get stuff done. Obviously not on the level of Ohio State. We'll see how healthy Cam Camper is. But I think this is going to be a good opportunity for our team to get primed and ready to go. But I just wanted to share that with, what we found as far as some of the things that they are good at. But there's a reason they're 6-18 in the last couple seasons. Indiana's kind of on a downfall. They're trying to get themselves back up. They've had a lot of transfers into their program this year, but again, they're facing Ohio State, preseason top 5, depending on whatever poll you're looking at. Like, Ohio State's ready to rock and roll. So
Yeah, I mean, let's say before we end the show, Shane, you said you were excited to see receivers. Name one more thing you're just excited to see for this game.
I am excited to watch our defensive front seven. I want to see how we play. And I know that's going to sound stupid. Everybody's excited for it. Offensively, we've got weapons. Defensively, I want to see if we can pick up where we left off last year, where we were starting to improve. You guys have talked about it on here. We've improved in almost every single area as a team. I really want to see our front seven and the assignments they make against, some of the skill positions, the faster guys. How do they cover open space in the field, that type of thing? And do we get manhandled at the line of scrimmage? JTT, I want to see. I want to see some of these guys that have high names, like hype around them.
Yeah.
Can they beat the one-on-one coverages, like on the line? Can they beat their guy one-on-one? Or do we need to have a guy checking them down or chipping them, like a running back or a tight end, putting them over there for blocking? I want to see these guys really live up to the hype, and I think this is a great opportunity to do it. What about you, man?
I want to see the offensive line, the new makeshift offensive line for Ohio State. We're going the other direction of it. Although what everything you've listed, I still want to see. So I'm trying to be different here.
Yeah.
Offensive line, I want to see the left tackle Simmons. You've bragged about him on the show. You got to watch him on that West Coast. His strength apparently is pass blocking. His weakness could be a run blocking at times, from what you've said, what other people have said. Obviously, he's shown enough to be the starting left tackle over guys like Josh Fryer, who thought was going to be the left tackle back at spring. So I'm happy to see that he beat somebody out for that position, and I'm happy to a transfer actually is panning out because we needed tackle help, and he was one of the top tackles on the market there. And I'm interested to see how because Dylan Freeman's big on Josh Fryer as a right tackle. He thinks Fryer is going to be really good. You think Simmons can be really good. So I got two different guys telling me that the guys that are starting can be really good. And Hinsman, we took him from out of Wisconsin, which Wisconsin was heavy on him. And Wisconsin obviously knows offensive linemen. So it was actually a nice, huge get to get him. And to see, what is he, the second year of the Buckeye, and he's starting. So, and of course, Jackson and Jones, we already know how good they are. Jackson figures to be a late first round, second round draft pick. Jones will get drafted third or fourth round as a guard. And it was just see how it rounds out. Will the new quarterback get time? Will they open up holes for the running back core that we have? And Shane, I leave you with this. Just think if Luke Whippler, Paris Johnson, and DeJuan Jones all came back this year with Matt Jones and Donovan Jackson.
Disgusting is what that would be.
That's a national title offensive line right there.
100%.
All right, buddy. I appreciate you as always, man. This has been Bucks N Brew with Sugar Ray Shane, the Boise Buckeye Game Time Guru Larson. I'm here. I'm Floco at Scarlet Great CT. If you want to find me on Twitter, Shane, where do they find you on Twitter, buddy, or X or whatever the heck they want to call it?
Yeah, just follow me at the Game Time Guru. It's all one word, but like Game Time Guru. Just search it and you'll find me on there.
Awesome, guys. We appreciate you guys. 5,700 subscriptions by Saturday. God bless y'all for the love and support you've been giving us. As always, goodbye. God bless. And Shane?
Go Bucks, baby.
Absolutely. Go Bucks, baby.